Alright, so there's always like a debate on who the best Mcoc player is, and I'll tell you what, BeroMan is usually in that conversation, and for good reason, right? He's won so many like different Battleground seasons, it is unreal. And you wanna know who's never in that conversation? Yeah, your boy over here, because obviously, right, I am nowhere near the best player. I think I'm like decent at best, okay? And so I knew that going into this match, I was at a major disadvantage, because when it comes to skill, I just simply don't have it at that level, right? So I was gonna have to try to pull some tricks up my sleeve. And did I do that? Not really, but I still kind of, you know, I kind of did. It's hard to explain, but this was a thriller. And, you know, I work off of confidence. I've told you before, that's how I won all my other matches, because I, you know, lose the first one and then I just come back big and, you know, I just shut him out, right? That's always the game plan. A bit different this time around, and I had to adjust big time. So yeah, first draft here, I have some pretty good options. I have CGR, I have Domino, I go for those two champions, and you know, that's the best play possible. Gallon, I don't need right now. There he gets future Ant-Man, which is honestly pretty annoying. He also gets Symbiote Supreme, Mojo, Hulkling, just so many different good characters, right? So I was already like not feeling too good about this draft, because one, I have some rank 4 champions in my deck already, or like in my draft, sorry. And oh yeah, one more thing, if you're noticing that there are no science champions in play, the tournament got a massive rule change for the quarterfinals and beyond. So any science champion is banned. Like, you cannot have a science champion in your deck, but you also have access to one whitelist. So that whitelist can be a science character if you want it to be. Now for my whitelist, I picked Kushala. And let me tell you, I didn't use her a single time, so that's just amazing. My original one was the Serpent, but I thought, you know what, he probably has a ton of counters to the Serpent, so let me just not do that. So yeah, I didn't whitelist Serpent, I instead did Kushala. Do I regret that? Probably, because I think I could have done better with my whitelist, but hey, it is what it is. And for his whitelist, he picked Domino, which is very smart because Domino is one of his rank 3 champions. Now, my rank 3 defenders aren't as good as Domino. I have Mcoc, Maestro, and Photon. Now, Maestro is like a jobber at this point. It's honestly pretty sad because, yeah, he is like a 30-second CGR fight, a 20-second Juggernaut fight, which thankfully he's gone from this tournament, so massive, massive W there. And Mcoc is kind of science fodder. However, there were no science characters, so I should have picked Mcoc. And I feel so dumb for not doing that. I wasn't really thinking about it beforehand, but yeah, Mcoc is perfect because he counters CGR, he counters Hulkling, he counters pretty much every annoying Cosmic that was going to be a problem in this entire tournament match. So yeah, already a big mistake, right? And my reasoning behind the Kushala whitelist was because I think she is one of my best Domino counters. So if like worst came to worst, like I didn't get Shuri or Red Skull, I would have Kushala at least. And Kushala is also good for Maestro, good for like Hulkling. And yeah, that was the game plan. But Mcoc's good for Maestro. Mcoc can probably take Hulkling. Mcoc is a rank 3 champion that I can place on defense and is at least a 50+ second fight for most champions. So yeah, I messed up there big time, and this first round was a throw round for him, so I didn't really commentate on it. And this next round is a throw round for me, so I'm not going to commentate on it much either. I'm going to go back to my strategy, which was flawed big time, now that I think about it, because I had a rank 3 Mcoc right there. He is such a powerful character in this meta, so like, I know next time that, well, I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but yeah, next time I'm gonna whitelist Mcoc probably. But then again, it just depends on like the person I'm facing in their deck, so it's just a tough one, right? It's a tough one to pick one character to like whitelist, because yeah, if you like, if you think about it, every champion has an argument, right? Except for like your fodder champions. For example, I'm not gonna whitelist like Rintra, right? Because that's so useless. But yeah, we'll just get past that. It is what it is. The match is over. I can't like go back in time and whitelist Mcoc because I don't really have to anyway because of the result. So we're chilling. But yeah, if I were to lose and I lost to like, you know, a fight that Mcoc can take very, very well, I would have been so upset. However, that didn't necessarily happen, so we're kind of chilling. Okay, throw around time. Look at this fight. Okay, so I was gonna like try, maybe. Then I realized, wait a second, this fight was gonna suck. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it like one combo, see what happens. And yeah, nothing was happening. He was just not playing ball. He's at what, 11 charges? So I'm like, okay, let's just do it. Just end me. Or I tried my SB2. And yeah, it did like 0 damage. He goes unstoppable, so I'm like, let's just hit me. I'm done. I do not want to do this. So yeah, throw rounds exchanged in the first matchup. Honestly, that told me that this was going to be about strategy as well. And I'll be honest, as of recently, I feel like I haven't been like, you know, I have not been calling the shots correctly. When it comes down to like the last round play calling, I think that's where I struggle a bit, especially this season. So I had to try to fix that ASAP, and I don't think I did like a bad job at play calling, but I could have done better is all I'm saying. And I can always do better, right? Like in this whole series, I didn't even play that good. Like I played okay. And you know, there's always things to work on, obviously, but if it's enough, then it's enough, and I won't say too much about it. So yeah, throw around there, 27-second CGR fight. Keep that in mind because yeah, CGR gets very dangerous very fast, and I have to make adjustments to that immediately. So here he's gonna place Nick Fury, which is fair enough. And I placed Atuma personally. So yeah, Atuma is kind of annoying. He is guaranteed health loss at the least. So I had to lock in here and get this fight done as efficiently as possible, which I unfortunately don't do. Now I didn't play it bad, to be fair. I just cracked the bone. That's so much fun. I didn't play it bad, to be fair. It's just I didn't play it well enough. So yeah, rank 5 CGR. He is very good at rank 5, obviously. It's just he really wants to be ascended at this point. And I had the option of doing that, but I went for a long shot instead because I thought I could use it more in Alliance War, which I honestly feel like I've been struggling in like for like the past season. So I was thinking, okay, I think I need some more Alliance War help than Battlegrounds help, so that's why I opted for long shot. But more on that later in a separate video because I am pumped for that ascension. And sorry for the spoilers, by the way, but yeah, here we go in, drop a combo, and things are looking pretty good for us right now. We drop another combo into the SB2. No, we don't. We have to hold it because he is in his second life now, so I can't drop anything. And here's where I mess up. Miss the parry. I lose so much health because of it. That might have cost me. I don't know if it cost me entirely, but it definitely did some numbers on me. So that might have done it. I don't know if like I still would have won if I didn't take that much damage, but yeah, that hurts to see because this was honestly super clean. I was pretty proud of this fight, but I knew that Hulkling is going to be super fast, which he kind of was, and he finished with like a healthier amount of like health. A healthier amount of health, let's go. But yeah, first round, it's a loss. And you know, this isn't my first rodeo. I've been down 0-1 before. I just cannot be down 0-2 because if I'm down 0-2, I just cannot like work with that. I will just struggle big time. My confidence would just be at the absolute lowest. I just couldn't handle it, to be honest. So this right here was the most important match. It always is. If I'm down 0-1, I cannot go down 0-2. That is, I guess, like a game plan against me for like any future opponents, I guess. Yeah, if you want to beat me, just get the first 2 wins, and then that's like a lock, because I would just be at like 0 confidence. I'll be like Gladiator after taking a special attack. I'll just be completely done for, and I cannot recover from it, to be honest. But yeah, here is match number 2. My strategy, oh, well, I need to edit that out actually, give me 1 second. Alright, my apologies. Yeah, I was like constantly checking if I was recording or not for like the entire series, and I was listening to music as well, listening to music, and yeah, I don't want to just show that. I mean, you probably can guess what I was listening to because of my intros and everything, but yeah, I had my playlist. I needed it, to be honest, to like work well. And hey, it got the job done, so I'll take it. So here I go for Long Shot and Sunspot. I think those are pretty great picks. Sunspot for Rintra, Long Shot for Dragon Man potentially. I was feeling pretty good about this. And there's a Killmonger, so I'm gonna switch Long Shot to Killmonger if he does pick him, which I believe he doesn't. He opts for Guardian, I believe, which is fine. Yeah, I honestly would have gone for Killmonger, to be honest, because yeah, I think he is a much more annoying character than like Guardian, for example. But yeah, there I got Maestro and Atuma, so that's pretty sweet. I could have gone CGR, but I just chose not to. Then here he gets Nick Fury, Onslaught, Maestro, all the annoyances. And this right here is why I'm glad I whitelisted Kushala, because yeah, if he picked Maestro, I would have Kushala to save me there. So that's honestly like a reason why I whitelisted Kushala. But then again, Mcoc does the same thing. And look at this for example. None of these champions on BeroMan's side can take Mcoc in sub 50 seconds. And some of these fights will go down to like, you know, who does it fastest. So yeah, I still can't like help but think about that Mcoc whitelist. I might do it the next time, like the next matchup, or I might just stick with Kushala. I don't know just yet. It just depends on like what my opponent runs and everything. So yeah, we're chilling. So there he places Dragon Man. Here I placed Maestro. And yeah, he has Symbiote Supreme, who is pretty good for Maestro. But I also have Long Shot right here. My newly ascended Long Shot. And yeah, I ascended him like an hour before this matchup. And like I said, it was between him and CGR, and I was like, you know, I love CGR. I think he's really fun and like a really cool character, and plus he's CGR, he's one of the best champions in the game. But I think Longshot just is cooler. Remember, I made my top 10 champions video, that like my top 10 favorite champions, sorry, and Longshot was at number 6. So yeah, I love this character a ton, really. But yeah, just look at this beast, man. I love Longshot. He's so fun to play, and he is just such a damage monster. Like, this right here is about 30-something seconds for a rank 2 Dragon Man. And yeah, I could have played it better as well, but I just didn't, so it's fine. And that does it. That was like 30-something seconds, and I knew that Symbiote Supreme just cannot beat that. Like, a rank 5 Symbiote, absolutely not. So I was pretty pumped about that. Yeah. When CGR is out of the field, it honestly feels a lot better. I was thinking that, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I should start banning him a bit, because yeah, that like honestly, this is winnable, right? It's very, very winnable right now, because CGR, he kind of just ruins a lot of stuff. And I can't play him well enough to like, you know, say that maybe I need him too, because I honestly don't. I think he's a great champion, but at rank 5 non-ascended, he's gonna lose like the battle between CGRs. So I was thinking that while I was doing this matchup, and you know, I was still debating it because I was banning Tigra, Korg, and Archangel at the moment, and those champions are all very, very vicious, right? Archangel can just ruin Rintra, for example, who I was honestly banking on, but I probably shouldn't have, because it's just a rank 4 Rintra, and in the end, I don't even place him once, I don't think. But yeah, here I play Shuri because he doesn't have an ideal counter. He does have like Stark Spidey, for example, but he can always like Sunspot it, he can always go like someone different. And here I use Sunspot myself, and yeah, game plan is to just try to beat his Sunspot. Now, I have the advantage here because I have no class disadvantage, and Shuri is honestly a very annoying Sunspot matchup. Now, Rintra himself is also very annoying, to be fair, so yeah, I was not feeling too good about this, and you're gonna see, like, I played this fine, in my opinion, but oh my gosh, the node where, like, he fails your abilities, by the way, it's a 15% chance, or wait, yeah, 15% reduction per buff, and he was failing me like crazy. It was so annoying. And I was like, okay, if this costs me, I'm just over this, right? But yeah, so far so good here. And there he fails it again. Then he gets the power gain and the unstoppable. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just so much time being wasted right now. And he fails it another time. I'm like, sir, what are you doing right now, man? He's throwing. He is throwing for me. And I'm like, bro, come on. So here I drop the SP2, 50,000 crit, and look at this. Fails again. And the Incinerate does its job, and I won by less than 200 points. I was about to lose because of that one little hit, and I was gonna be so mad because that would have put me down 2-0 pretty much, because I think round 3 he had guaranteed, so I would have been done for. Thankfully, I won by sub 200 points, and now you see why this is a thriller, right? Because I knew that I could not make a single mistake, because if I did, he gets the advantage because he's a better player than me, obviously, and then I would just lose pretty much all these final rounds. So as that special someone of mine says, I have to lock in. I have to lock in. I have to focus up here, because if I'm down 1-2, that's new territory for me, and I just cannot afford to do that, to be honest. However, it's sometimes just about the luck of the draw, right? Here I get Sunspot and Dust. I'm like, sure, I'll just do that. And remember when I said I had to lock in? I didn't. I'll be completely honest. I just didn't lock in, and I knew that, yeah, that might cost me. And you want to know what else cost me right here? That CGR. I didn't ban him for some reason. I was still thinking that like Archangel's more of a threat. But then look at my draft right now. I have 3 immunity champions, so they can be Archangeled. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Why I kept CGR in play. I don't need CGR. I don't need him at all in like any of these matchups, right? If anything, I do not need him at all, and I think BeroMan is winning because of him. Of course, like, his skill is also winning him in the matchups. Like, you know, that's the biggest part of like BeroMan's strategy, of course, is to just outskill me. But CGR is also helping big time, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't know what I can do here. And I don't know what I did here even. I should have picked Red Skull. I don't know why I didn't pick Red Skull. Because, yeah, Deathstrike, she was just there for emergency. My main domino counter was going to be Red Skull and Shuri. I don't know why I just didn't go for Red Skull. I guess because of Sasquatch being like pretty scary there, but I had Sunspot, man. I don't know. This was a bad round. I didn't lock in. I was honestly like getting too ahead of myself. I was just not really thinking about the current matchup that is. So yeah, I played this pretty badly, man. I don't know why I didn't CGR this right here, for example. I have 0 use for him afterwards. I can Sunspot the Hulkling. I can place Onslaught to bait out the Hulkling, or like, you know, just place, I don't know, man. I could have just done it better. So yeah, I used Dust. I shouldn't have done that because, one, she's just not a good attacker. Like in Battlegrounds, she's just not it. Like, I don't know why I used her. Because I could have used her for defense because the CGR is out of the field now, and you can't use Stark Spidey for 2 matchups. So yeah, I threw, and then I get hit immediately. I was so out of it. I honestly just wanted to forfeit this one and just regroup, because yeah, I just did everything wrong in this entire matchup. I just wasn't focused here. I had to just like regroup, right? Which is fine, you know. Will I be down 1-2? Yes. But like, that's okay, because it isn't 0-2. That's like the bad scenario that I cannot let happen, right? And I didn't let it happen. So this was kind of like house money. Of course it'd be nice to be up like, you know, 2-1, but it is what it is. And yeah, Dust just doesn't do damage. She just doesn't, and it's so frustrating. Because yeah, like you think she'd be good for a Tuma, which she might be, right? Like I played this terribly, obviously, but she just, I don't know, she's not reliable. And you know, I just didn't really care at this point. I'm like, whatever, he evades all 3 of those hits, which is fantastic. So yeah, and then I get hit again, so I just didn't care at this point. I was like, whatever, man, just end me, or I'll just end him, I guess. And yeah, 37 seconds. Wait, yeah, 37 seconds. CGR is a problem, and he's not helping me at all. And I didn't learn my lesson. I don't know why I was so like stubborn about it, like why I was so stubborn with like, you know, banning Archangel, who is gonna get dumpstered on by my entire defense, mind you. So I don't know what I was doing still. I felt very stupid at that point because I'm like, okay, CGR has won him so many rounds and he hasn't done a single thing for me. But yeah, there I place Onslaught. He uses Stark Spidey, I believe. So yeah, down to Deathstrike. And I learned my lesson here. Do not rely on Lady Deathstrike because she is just not it. At rank 5 versus a rank 3. Well, no, not even that, because like even Red Skull does her pretty dang well at a rank 5 non-ascended level. It is just a Deathstrike issue. I love this champion. I think she's really fun. Not Battlegrounds worthy at all. I'll tell you that much. At least for these rank 3 dominoes that are, you know, a thing, that are running rampant in Battlegrounds, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't play it that good either, I'll be honest. Like, it's not her fault completely. It's just, yeah, there are so many better options for Domino, especially this meta. Like, Red Skull is the best one in my opinion by far. Yeah, Red Skull is just such a good champion, it's insane. But, yeah, ability failed, no big deal, it's fine. I'm in Ferocity, but I can't really, like, benefit off of it because of the Unstoppable and the Evade. Well, actually, Lady Deathstrike does turn off the Unstoppable. It's just she has no way of countering Evade, which is honestly super annoying, right? Because, you know, if you want to be a good Domino counter, maybe counter Evade as well, because, you know, Domino has that 10% chance of evading, and that's honestly pretty massive. And Deathstrike just doesn't counter it at all. So it's like, okay, are you a real Domino counter? Maybe, maybe not. Because, oh yeah, also, she has a chance of failing an Unstoppable passive in Ferocity. So she is not even completely safe against Domino. That's the fun part. So yeah, why'd I add her to my deck? Just to be safe. But, you know, Mysterio probably would have done much better, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just not going to rely on this character anymore because she completely sold. I didn't even play that bad. I did like okay at best, and you know, I could have won that if I'd used anyone except for Lady Deathstrike. That's a tech character. Mysterio would have been probably 80 seconds, I assume. Red Skull, you're going to see how good he does in a bit here. Shuri, one of the best, if not the best counter to Domino. Like, that was just not it. And now I'm down 1-2. So I'm upset. I'm pretty upset. And I have to actually lock in now. You know, I said I was gonna do it the last match, but I couldn't. So now I have to. I don't have a choice really, because if I don't lock in and he's locked in, then yeah, I just cannot win. And if I lose another round, then it's over for me because it is best of 5 and he's up 2-1. So he gets Domino immediately, fair enough. I get Red Skull, so I'm chilling. I'm happy about this. I'm like, okay, I have to pick him, obviously. I have to pick Red Skull. And I go for Maestro here. I don't know why I did that, because CGR is still in play. And if CGR is in play, I just cannot succeed with Maestro. Like, any other champion will take at least 50 seconds plus for Maestro. Mojo, Chavez, you name it, it's at least 50 plus seconds, right? CGR, 37, pretty much impossible to beat, right? And he gets CGR, so I'm like, okay, why haven't I learned my lesson yet? I just don't know why I was so stubborn about it, and I feel pretty like dumb for like being so stubborn about it, but I don't know why I thought that Archangel was a more dangerous threat. Think about it, replace CGR with Archangel. Can't do Shuri, can't do Maestro, will struggle against Sasquatch probably, can't do Hulkling, like, I don't know. And I felt like garbage at this point. I was like, okay, I don't think I can win this. Like, I just think it's over. So I pick a Tuma and I'm like, okay, let's try to get something going here. So yeah, it's time. This is all or nothing, right? I have to go all in. I have to play my best, try my hardest. And, you know, I don't do that for this first round. However, I watched back his stream and I saw that something happened. And this helped me big time. So I play Sasquatch. He has Stark Spidey, completely fine. I don't know if I was going to win this, right? Because, it's Hulkling, who is rank 5 Unascended versus rank 2 Atuma, and he has rank 2 Stark Spidey against a rank 2 Unduped Sasquatch. Now, I might not have been fully locked in, but BeroMan was not locked in even 1% against this against the Sasquatch, sorry. Because I watched back the stream, and yeah, it was a rough start for him. He immediately got, comboed, right? Then when he was done ramping, he went in, got light intercepted, and comboed all the way down to 30% health. So he just gave up. And, I think the funny part is, if he were to regroup himself and try to heal from the adrenaline and just try his best, I think he would have won. Because I did not play this good in the slightest. Because, yeah, he started with 2 concussions. Super annoying immediately because, yeah, I have to go for that trick where you have to disable all of his concussions, which is not fun, and it's honestly pretty difficult for me at least. And yeah, I just played this terribly. Simple as that. Wasn't necessarily locked in, but I did good enough to win, so it's fine. Yeah, I could have just done so much better though. Of course, I can always do better. But yeah, go in here, drop the relic into the SP2. Don't know what I'm thinking right now. I should have just dropped it immediately. And then yeah, do that, get the combo, get the SP2. And he put up a whopping 0 points because he got comboed into oblivion, which is, fair enough. We all make mistakes. I made more than him in this entire series, obviously, because I make more mistakes in general. So yeah, it happens. It obviously happens. It happened to me a lot in this in this whole entire tournament, to be honest. But yeah, here I place Maestro, and I did this because I knew that if he used CGR there, he wouldn't have a Red Skull counter. So that was the game plan, to bait out the CGR, or he uses Symbiote Supreme, and he's gonna place Domino here. Now, I know that Shuri's very good for Domino, so I knew that, okay, if he tries to risk it with Symbiote Supreme, there's a chance that he just doesn't win. That he just cannot do enough damage in enough time to beat my Shuri matchup. So, I'll be honest, this was my first good play call. And I'll be even more honest, it was at the best time possible, because if I won this round, then it's a 2-2 draw and we go to the final matchup. So I had to lock in here big time. No mistakes. Not even the smallest mistake can be made, right? I have to just completely lock in, and I do that because this was honestly very, very clean, if I'm being honest. Drop the SP1 there, can't be evaded, we're chilling. Here she drops the SP2, no she doesn't. She's gonna though, pretty soon. There she drops it, okay. No big deal. We have our precisions built up, we're doing some pretty good damage right now with the critical hits. There I kind of mess up, it's fine, just a bit of block damage, just have to brush it off and we're fine. We're chilling, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go in here, dropping some nice combos right now because Shuri is a beast and is hitting super hard. And yeah, here she drops the SP2 again, no big deal. And this is honestly going pretty well, I'll be completely honest, because here I dropped the SP1, I get some more precisions up, and here I'm gonna go for a combo. And this actually does it. That was 67 seconds. For a rank 3 Domino, honestly pretty good, and it was enough to win that. So yeah, it's 2-2 now. This is huge. This is my only chance to beat BeroMan, Final round, I have to go all in, can't afford to lose anything, right? I can't make the smallest mistake. So this was it. I had to fully lock in now, and I do something here that, I didn't mention I could do, but, it's best to save it for last, is what I was thinking. So here I go for the CGR ban. Finally, I stop being dumb and I go for the ban. So yeah, instead of Archangel, fine, completely fine. He rethinks his bans as well, which is fair enough. And he chooses, I forgot what he chose. What did he choose? Let's see. We'll see together what he picked. Well, it's ticking. I get why he took a long time because, you know, this is very important, right? It's the final matchup here. He goes for Shuri, Mcoc, and the Serpent. That Shuri ban hurts, obviously, right? Because he saw that Deathstrike wasn't cutting it, but he hasn't seen Red Skull. He hasn't seen Red Skull yet, and that gave me hope because he didn't consider Red Skull, right? Because he's just a rank 5 character. How good can he be? Well, you're about to find out. So I pick him and Atuma, and it's showtime. It's honestly showtime. Here he gets Domino. There she is. I'm not worried. I'm not worried in the slightest about that. So yeah, we're good. He picks Absorbing Man, I believe. Yeah, he picks Absman. Could have picked Killmonger. Would have been a pretty good play call. And here is my biggest play call ever. I see that I have trash. I have absolute trash. And there's the gold. There is the gold after a reroll. And let me explain to you. I can reroll here because he has the draft advantage. That's a rule in the tournament. So did it feel kind of dirty? Maybe, because it's like, for example, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl against the Eagles on a play call, or like on a pass interference call that was kind of messed up. Or was that holding? It was some call, right? And it was like, okay, that's kind of like a cheap way to win, but they still won the Super Bowl. I still won this matchup, right? So, hey, whatever it takes. I'm not too fussed. It's a tournament match in like a small tournament. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah, I was gonna do whatever, and I didn't really care, so it's fine. Here he got Gallon, which is fair enough. I have to place first, so I'm gonna have to place. I don't even know. I think I go for Atuma. There we go. Yeah, go for Atuma there, and he's going to go for, I believe, also Atuma. So yeah, I had to lock in because Atuma versus Atuma. He has the advantage with Absman. Obviously, it's Absman. He is one of the best Atuma counters in the game. He'll finish with like pretty much close to full yellow bar, so I cannot afford to lose any percentage of health. And who do I use? I use Longshot. This man's so clutch. This man is so clutch, and I'm happy that BeroMan banned Shuri instead of Longshot, sorry, because it lets Longshot shine a bit more. Now, I think that Shuri would have done better in this scenario, like versus Atuma and everything, but Longshot did just as good, so we're kind of chilling here. Only one concussion, so I'm like, okay, I can just, play aggressively, it's fine. One concussion, no big deal, we're kind of chilling. So yeah, here I dropped the first SP2, does some pretty nice damage, nice crit there for sure, and so far so good here. He drops the SP2, we're fine. Go back in, drop another combo. Look at the Incinerates tick. That is insane. That is so insane, to be honest. And yeah, we didn't nullify the Unstoppable, however, so that does hurt a bit. That is a massive time stall, which is just not fun in the slightest. So I go for a combo, and yeah, drop the SP2 again. That could have been so much better. I didn't necessarily lock in, but I did good enough, is what I told myself. I said, you know what, if whatever happens, happens. Absman should do this faster, but then again, we're not perfect. No one's perfect, right? Except for my special person. But yeah, that reroll really paid off. it paid off pretty much like immediately, so hey, I'll take it, right? And now it's time for round 2. He can place Onslaught, and I'll have nothing for him. So that's one strategy. He could try to go for a round 3 by placing Domino immediately, which he does. And I say, you know what? If I lose, I lose. This is it. I don't have another good defender to use. So hey, this is where it ends, right? This is where like the finale is. If I don't win this, if I make one single mistake, then I do not win this entire thing because I do not have anything for Onslaught. So it was all down to this, right? Like I had to get this perfectly. And he banned Shuri, fair enough, but don't doubt Red Skull. I think this man is easily like a top 5 tech character at this point because given his defensive prowess and the fact that he does this against a rank 3 Domino, yeah, he's a pretty important character, right? He's really good. He's really, really good. So yeah, massive W here, man. I go in, drop the SP2, does some very good damage, and we are now in the loop for a red skull. So here I'm going to go for a combo, or like close to a combo. Have to be careful with the evade, however. There I dropped the SP1. Kind of risky, but it paid off, so I'll take it. There I missed a parry, which is unfortunate, which does kind of cost me a bit because, yeah, I just didn't play that right. There she evades. I drop my relic out of panic, but then I lose some time for sure. Like, I could have done this a lot faster if I didn't get evaded on, so that does kind of suck. Here I drop the SP1, no big deal, and here I go back. She drops her own SP1, massive time stall. I didn't play this perfect, but, you know, it's fine. I can just try to end with like a healthy bar, right? And yeah, W. Kindred is Kindred. Rank 4 Kindred got me the W. You'll love to see it. Yeah, so that was a thriller down to like the wire essentially. If red skull wasn't so good, I would have lost that. So it is what it is, man. Don't underestimate red skull. He's a beast. One of the best tech champions in the game right now. And that's gonna do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts on this entire matchup. I thought it was a thriller and honestly a must-see one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's about it for me.